Soil contamination has some Hyannis residents concerned about water quality. The Barnstable Municipal Airport held a public meeting this week to share their public involvement plan regarding PFAS, a chemical found in many manufactured compounds, and their ongoing practices to ensure water safety.
PFAS has a very long name to it. It's perfluoroalkyl substances, and it's fluorinated compounds that are used as a surfactant. So it's to try to prevent water and another layer of something from getting wet. So it's applied in like Scotchgard on fabrics to prevent staining. It's in cookware, Teflon cookware. Historically, it's had PFAS compounds in it. It's in food wrappers, microwave popcorn bags, things like that. So it's in a variety of different materials that have been manufactured over the years. The most toxic two chemicals that are part of this are no longer made in the US, but they are made in other countries and have the potential to come over here. And the same surfactant is part of the firefighting foam, which is why it's a concern here at the airport and is something that we're looking at in those areas.
In an emergency, the airport is federally mandated to use firefighter foam, which has PFAS in it, and there are no known alternatives. The soil surrounding the airport has tested positive for PFAS.
So firefighting foam is something that we have to use. We're regulated by the Federal Aviation Administration to use this type of foam. PFAS has been determined to be of concern for drinking water standards. So back in 2016, the DEP came to the airport and said, provide us with some information. Tell us how you use your firefighting foam, where you've sprayed your foam, what incidents have occurred on the airfield where you had to use that foam. And by the way, can you do some testing for us? Since 2015, we have not sprayed foam during a triannual drill or during our annual testing because of the PFAS being brought up to us at that point in time. So we know of the two locations that are present on the airfield that had concentrations that are a bit higher, and that we have to do something about that. What does that do something mean? That means maybe taking the soils that are in that area, removing them, replacing them with clean soils. So there's a lot of different options, and we just want to make sure that we express to the community that we are doing what we have to do in order to respond.
Over the last few years, research has shown the Hyannis water system has been impacted by PFAS. Dan Santos, director of the Department of Public Works, says drinking water is safe. Removal of the compounds from the water is the next course of action.
It's in the groundwater, and it's below the standard in our water system, so it's not a problem. Well, it is in the water, there's no doubt about that.
Right.
The question is, what's the source? But from my perspective, from the town and operating the water system, we have to treat and remove these compounds from the water, which is what we're breaking ground on in just a couple of weeks, is a new water treatment system at the Mar well field, which will treat these contaminants so that we can continue to use those wells into the future.
The public meeting was held on July 29th. The airport will issue a final draft of the public involvement plan by September 17th. In Hyannis for Cape Media News, I'm Emily Tullock.